eliminate, eliminate, eliminate. So, let's talk about the word eliminate. As a verb, it means to get rid of something completely, making it impossible for it to happen or exist anymore. For example, the new policy will eliminate smoking in public places. Here, we're getting rid of smoking in public, making it impossible to do so. In common usage, you'll often hear eliminate used in the context of competition. Like in a game show where contestants have to answer questions and you want them to get out of the competition, or in a situation where you need to choose the best option from several possibilities. But what's really important to note is that eliminate can sometimes be confused with similar words like exclude, which just means to leave something out, but not necessarily make it impossible for it to happen. So, let me give you an example. If a restaurant wants to exclude gluten-free options from their menu, they're not eliminating them entirely. They're just choosing not to offer them. Does that make sense? In a formal university setting, such as a thesis defense, you might say, to improve the efficiency of our machine learning algorithm, we will implement a new feature to eliminate redundant calculations. This sentence demonstrates a formal usage of the word eliminate, where it's used in an academic context to convey technical expertise and precision. In contrast, during a casual conversation with friends at a coffee shop, you might say, "I'm trying to cut down on sugar intake for my health. Can we eliminate desserts from our order today?" Here, eliminate is used in a conversational tone to suggest doing away with something that's considered undesirable or unhealthy. In a business context, such as a meeting with colleagues at a tech startup, you might say, "Our marketing team will work together to eliminate the gap between online and offline sales data by implementing a new integration system." This sentence showcases a practical usage of eliminate, where it's used to convey a sense of problem solving and collaboration. So you're trying to understand what eliminate means. Okay, let me explain. To eliminate something basically means to get rid of it, so it's no longer there. When we say someone eliminates an option, they're choosing one thing and getting rid of the other possibilities. It's like when you're trying to decide on a restaurant for dinner and you choose one over another. You've eliminated that other place from being your choice. Main characteristics are that it's about making something go away or no longer relevant. Similar concepts or synonyms could be get rid of, exclude, leave out, or even cut off. When we use eliminate, we're thinking about removing an obstacle, a bad habit, or sometimes even a person from a situation. Like on a game show. Empirical, empirical, empirical. So, you want to know about the word empirical? Well, first let's break it down. It's an adjective, which means it modifies a noun or a pronoun. In common usage, empirical refers to knowledge or evidence that comes from observation or experience, rather than just from theory or thought. For example, if someone says, "The study's empirical results show that," they mean that the conclusions were based on actual data and experiments, not just on people's opinions. What's important to note is that in formal writing, like academic papers or technical reports, empirical often implies a sense of objectivity and rigor, so using it can help your writing sound more professional and scientific. Here are 3 practical examples of using the word empirical in different contexts. In a formal lecture on scientific research methodology, Professor Thompson explained that empirical evidence is essential to establishing causality between variables. stating, "Our study's findings are based solely on empirical data collected from over 10,000 participants, which provides a robust basis for our conclusions about the relationship between diet and heart disease." This example illustrates a formal usage of the word empirical, where it's used in an academic setting to emphasize the importance of evidence-based research. In contrast, during a casual conversation with a friend who's interested in philosophy, Emily mentioned that she's been reading about the nature of reality and empirical observation, saying, "I think it's really interesting how our perceptions of the world are influenced by empirical data, like, have you ever stopped to consider how our brains process sensory information?" This example shows a casual conversation usage of the word empirical, where it's used in a more relaxed setting to explore abstract ideas and concepts. In a business meeting with investors, CEO James emphasized that their company's product development process is guided by empirical testing and iterative feedback loops, stating, "We've run multiple rounds of empirical trials on our new prototype, and the results are promising. We're confident that this approach will yield significant market share gains in the next quarter." This example illustrates a business or academic usage of the word empirical, where it's used to convey a sense of rigor and data-driven decision-making. So, you're trying to get a handle on what empirical means? Well, in simple terms, empirical refers to knowledge or evidence that comes from direct observation and experience, rather than just thinking or guessing. It's like saying, "I know this because I've seen it happen myself." Main characteristics of empirical things are that they're based on facts, data, and actual events, not just someone's opinion or theory. In terms of similar concepts or synonyms, think of words like experimental, practical, or hands-on. When we use the word empirical in a sentence, it usually means that something is being tested or tried out to see if it actually works. Like an experiment or a trial run. It's all about getting real-world feedback and making decisions based on what happens, not just what you think might happen. Equip. 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 The word equip is a verb, which means it's an action word that tells us what someone is doing. In common usage, equip typically means to provide someone with the tools, skills, or knowledge they need to perform a task or activity. For example, you might say, "She equipped the team with new computers and software to improve their productivity." The key thing to note about equip is that it often implies a sense of preparation or readiness for something, whether it's a physical challenge, a mental task, or even just getting ready for a day at work. So, while give might also imply providing someone with something, equip tends to suggest a more specific purpose or goal in mind. Here are 3 example sentences using the word equip with varying contexts. In a formal setting, such as a job interview, you might say, "The new facilities will be equipped with state-of-the-art machinery to improve productivity." This sentence uses equip to mean to provide or fit something. In this case, facilities, with necessary tools or equipment. In casual conversation, like when discussing a hobby, you might say, "I need to equip my bike with some new handlebars and a helmet before I hit the trails on the weekend." Here, equip means to supply or add things needed for a particular activity. In a business or academic context, such as in a research paper, you might write, "To analyze the data effectively, we need to equip our software with additional algorithms to improve processing speed and accuracy." This sentence uses equip to mean to install or update something. In this case, software, with necessary tools or features. So you're trying to understand what equip means. Don't worry, I'm here to help. In everyday life, when we talk about preparing something or someone for a task or situation, that's basically what equip is all about. It means providing the necessary tools, skills, or knowledge needed to perform a particular function or achieve a specific goal. For example, if you're going on a hike and need to bring a backpack with food, water, and a map, people might say you've been equipped for your adventure. Similar ideas are put in place, set up, or supplied, which all kind of mean the same thing as equip. And just like when you put together a Lego set and get everything ready to go, that's what equip is about, getting everything prepared so you can move forward with confidence.